All right, let's dive right in. You've done the incredibly hard work. You've made the discovery, but now what? How do you get your findings out of the lab and into the hands of the global scientific community? Well, today, we're going to map out that exact journey, from your manuscript all the way to making a real impact.
So just picture it. You've poured months, maybe even years into your research. The data is all there, the conclusions are solid, but that's when you hit that big question. What now? For so many researchers, this is where the real challenge actually begins, figuring out how to navigate the complex world of academic journals.
You know, it's really helpful to think of it less like you're just submitting a paper and more like you're navigating a giant, complicated maze. Academic publishing is a whole system, and it's got its own rules, its own key players, and very specific paths you need to take to turn that hard work into a published paper.
Okay, so if we're going to get through this maze, the first thing we have to do is understand who's in charge. Let's start right there, by decoding the journals themselves. We're going to look at the gatekeepers who kind of run the show, and, just as importantly, the numbers they use to measure quality.
First up, you have to meet the scientific publishers. They play an absolutely massive role in this whole process. They're the ones producing and distributing the journals, basically creating the entire platform that allows researchers like you to share what you found with the rest of the world.
Now, while there are tons of publishers out there, the landscape is really dominated by a few huge players. You're going to see names like Elsevier, Springer, and Wiley pop up again and again. I mean, these are the giants, publishing thousands of journals in pretty much every field you can imagine. But it's also really important to remember that there are a lot of smaller, super specialized publishers that are absolutely vital, especially for niche areas of research.
And that brings up a really important question, right? With literally thousands of journals to choose from, how do you even begin to judge what's good? How do you separate the most influential journals from, well, all the rest?
Well, to answer that, we turn to some key metrics. You've got things like impact factor and site score, which basically measure how often a journal's articles get cited by other researchers, a good sign of influence. Then there's the acceptance rate, which tells you how picky a journal is. And for your own sanity, time to first decision is super important for planning your timeline. These numbers are the tools of the trade for figuring out where your work will make the biggest splash.
Okay, so let's say you've picked the perfect journal, you've submitted your paper, and it got published. That's amazing. But there's one more critical step. You have to make sure people can actually find your work. And this brings us to the power of indexing. Indexing is pretty simple in concept. It's the process of getting your article added to these massive, searchable scientific databases. Think of it like this. Getting published is like building a website. Indexing is like getting that website listed on Google. Without it, your brilliant paper could just get lost out there. Indexing is how your work officially joins the global scientific conversation.
And you know, these top-tier services, they don't just let anyone in. The gold standards like Web of Science and Scopus, they have pretty strict criteria. They're looking for the same core things. High-quality research, of course, but also relevance, a consistent publishing schedule, and clear formatting. It's basically another layer of quality control for the whole scientific community.
All right, so we've kind of decoded the whole system. We know the players, the metrics, the databases. Now, let's make this super actionable. Let's walk through a straightforward 4-step plan that can be your roadmap to get from that first spark of an idea all the way to a published paper.
You know, the key thing to get here is that successful publishing is a deliberate process, and it does not start with writing. It starts way back with choosing a strong, viable subject. Then comes the meticulous research. Only after all that do you move on to carefully crafting the manuscript. Submission is the absolute final step, not the first one.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like when you're in the trenches? Let's ground all these ideas and take a look at a real-world example trying to find the right home for your work in the very specific field of computational fluid dynamics, or CFD.
This is so important. Every single field, it doesn't matter how specialized it is, has its own unique ecosystem of top journals. A huge part of your strategy is just identifying where the most important conversations in your specific field are actually happening. That's your target.
And just take a look at this quick snapshot from the world of CFD. Notice the diversity here, even within one niche field. You've got journals from professional societies like ASME, you've got university presses like Cambridge, and of course the big commercial publishers like Elsevier and Springer are in the mix. Your job is to figure out the absolute best fit for your work within this ecosystem. So when you boil it all down, it all comes back to this one core idea.
The entire system, the publishers, the metrics, all of it, exists to create a platform for sharing findings and pushing knowledge forward. Understanding how it all works isn't about gaming the system. It's about learning the language so you can contribute to that global conversation as effectively as possible.
So we'll leave you with this one last thought. Your work, your discovery, it has the power to really change the conversation in your field. The only question left is, now that you have the map, where are you going to share it?